The Vivobook series from Asus has always been one of the best budget-oriented ultrabooks, and today I have the latest Vivobook 15 K513 with me, which comes with Intel's 11th Gen processor and some refreshing upgrades. As for the pricing, the i5 variant that we have for review retails at 65,000 rupees in India, some 1,05,000 here in Nepal, and $650 in the US. Anyways, if you're not aware, we've already come up with a full review of a couple of budget and mid-range laptops, among which Lenovo's IdeaPad 3 has impressed us the most. So how does the Vivobook 15 stand out against the competition? Let's dig deeper after this short intro. Okay, first things first, what I really like about Vivobook series is it comes in a couple of funky color options, and as you can see, this hearty gold color variant looks stunning. Despite its budget price, Asus is pushing the Vivobook 15 to a lifestyle category. As a result, you're getting a fairly premium looking design that's suitable for students or business professionals. The back of the device features a minimalistic Asus Vivobook branding in a reflective finish, while the entire surface is treated with a matte-like airbrush. I'm pretty fond of the big circular rubber feet as well that deliver a firm grip when placing the laptop on a flat surface. However, what is not quite sturdy is the hinge here. As you can see, it's subject to a significant wobble, which raises doubt about its durability in the long run. On the other hand, even though 16:10 aspect ratio displays are getting more common these days, that trend has not caught up to the budget laptop category. Thus, the Vivobook 15 is hammered with pretty significant bezels, especially on the top and the bottom. At just 1.7 kgs, I am reasonably happy with its weight though, although really surprised to see the company's signature Argo lift hinge missing on this device. In terms of ports, there are two USB 2.0 Type A connections on the left, while an additional Type A port is on the right, but this one is the USB 3.2 Gen 1 protocol. Besides this, you can find a full-size HDMI 1.4, a 3.5mm headphone out, a USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type C, and a micro SD card reader and a barrel pin power connector here. Moving on to the display, you get a standard 15.6 inches Full HD IPS LCD screen here. Our review unit has 273 nits of brightness, and as a result, setting the screen's brightness to 30 to 40% was enough to deliver eased visibility most of the time. Likewise, it covers 49% NTSC, 68% sRGB, and 51% of the DCI-P3 color gamut. So for the most part, I did not have much to complain about its middle-of-the-line panel configuration that I have with me. The colors look adequately vibrant, and its Full HD resolution has yielded no trouble regarding content sharpness either. Additionally, viewing angles on this thing is pretty good, with a notable dip in brightness and saturation only when looking at the screen at an extreme angle. The only mild issue that I've noticed with this panel is a hint of IPS glow around the mid-right corner of the display. But since this is almost entirely unnoticeable under regular usage, I'm more than happy to let it slide. Okay, getting to the keyboard, the Asus Vivobook 15 brings a full-sized keyboard with a dedicated numpad. And one of the literal highlights of this setup is the lime/yellowish accent to the enter key that Asus calls color blocking. It sure is a striking design choice, but nothing that will inherently have any sort of effect on your productivity. These keys are not the quietest ones I've used so far, and I found them to be a little bit mushy as well. Still, the 1.4mm key travel distance is right by my wheelhouse, and I had absolutely no difficulty maintaining my usual typing speed on this thing. Sadly, the Vivobook 15 marks the hat-trick in terms of crappy keyboard backlighting we've seen in Asus laptops recently. First, the TUF-F15, then the Zephyrus G14, and now this. Anyway, Vivobook 15's trackpad is fine for a budget laptop. The multi-finger gesture works perfectly, while its click response is good enough too. Yet, I must say I would have liked it more if it were a tad bit larger. There's also a Windows Hello certified fingerprint sensor on the top right corner of the trackpad, although its placement introduces a dead spot in the trackpad, which could have been easily solved if the sensor were placed literally anywhere outside. Moving on, you get a dual Harman Kardon tuned stereo speaker setup here that makes for a pretty sweet entertainment unit as well. As expected, these are downward firing units, and the missing Argo lift hinge means the sound output does not get enough room to breathe. Nevertheless, I was quite impressed with the audio quality of this thing. It can get plenty loud and there's a distinct stereo separation as well. You obviously cannot expect much in the bass department, but everything from vocals to high sound acceptably lovely here. Okay, as for the webcam quality, it is on par with what we've seen from other 720p cameras, meaning that they're perfectly okay for attending online classes or Zoom meetings. Plus, the audio pickup from these mics is not that bad either. Finally, let's get into the performance side of things. Here, our unit comes with i5 1135 G7 quad-core processor, integrated Iris Xe graphics, 8GB RAM and 512GB of NVMe SSD. Depending on the market, this laptop also has an i3 or i7 variant alongside an option with NVIDIA's MX330 or MX350 discrete graphics. Now, I have used a bunch of 11th Gen i5 CPU powered laptops in the past, so going into this review, I knew exactly what to expect. It has handled my lightweight workloads with flying colors, and even the 8GB RAM variant has delivered an excellent multitasking experience. So simultaneously opening around half a dozen of Chrome tabs at all times alongside LibreOffice, Spotify, and editing light photos on Photoshop does not break a sweat to this machine. Complemented by a single fan cooling setup, I am taken aback by its thermal performance as well. Oh, by the way, Asus has soldered one of the RAM sticks onto the motherboard here while leaving you with an additional SODIMM slot that can take up to 16GB memory stick. You can add a 2.5-inch SATA HDD or SSD here. Likewise, under the My Asus app, you can choose from 3 different performance modes: Balance, Whisper, and Performance. For the best performance, I used it under the performance profile that cranks up the CPU and fan performance to deliver as much as 40% boost according to Asus. Here, the fan does not get very loud either unless you're using demanding apps or gaming. Talking about gaming, Valorant is well playable under low graphics settings, delivering 88 to 90 FPS on average. But with the 60Hz screen on board, I did notice multiple instances of screen tearing. On the other hand, CSGO gives 47 to 50 FPS in low settings, but with minor stutters every now and then. Battery-wise, the Vivobook 15 has a standard 42 Wh cell, and Asus is claiming an all-day battery life on this thing based entirely on video playback benchmarks. But in my experience, it's resulted in pretty unimpressive endurance results. Using the laptop under 30 to 40% brightness and performance mode turned on, I managed to get 3.5 to 4.5 hours of screen on time on average. So to get a better endurance, I had to switch to the Whisper mode, which manages around 6 hours of screen on time. However, charging is pretty fast here, as it takes around 1.5 hours to fully take this battery from 0 to 100% using its 65-watt charger. Summing it up, the Asus Vivobook 15 is definitely a well-balanced budget Ultrabook for the price. The performance of Intel's Tiger Lake CPU will easily hold up to many budget users' demands, while its professional design and fairly color-accurate display are other things to cherish here. However, I wished it had better battery endurance, as it is only average. And if you're someone who wants superior multi-core performance, you could go with the AMD variant of this machine, which should be even more affordable. So that was all for our full review of the Asus Vivobook 15. We have been testing a lot of budget laptops lately, and we'll come up with a buy guide video very soon. So stay tuned to Gadget Byte for that. Till then, I'm Pratima, and thank you so much for watching.